go. Seems to be thinking about it. There we go. All right. So we got the live going. Now let's get it shared to all the places. Let's get it shared out. Oh man. Let's see what's going on. Doesn't seem to be letting me share for some reason. Make sure our profile is that's working. There's that. Sharing everything out, getting it out there. In a group. Oh, okay. Share this out there. Boom. All right. So now we got it all out there. Welcome back, everyone. Just working on the latest animation. We finished up Dr. Fate on the last one. So for this one, I want to revisit an oldie. Let me take my jewelry off here. I'm just revisiting this this animatic I did a long time ago. Man, I think it was like 3-4 years ago, I think. I don't remember. So we'll just review it real quick again. Turn on all the layers so we can see what we're working with. Excuse me, sorry, I'm a little tired, I guess. So it starts out with Guts from Berserk, and he's just looking on at some demons or some shadowy figures, and then he comes back and then he smiles, this like really evil smile, and then as it zooms out, these shadowy figures come up, and he just rears back and just cuts them to pieces. And this giant swipe, and he comes back and does it again. Bam, bam, and then that's the whole animation. Really simple, really easy to go through the whole thing. The hard part about this one is going to be all of the constant, all the details that goes into this. This is one of those projects that is like, man, animation is daunting, but at the end of it though, it's so fulfilling. It's so, like, I'm so glad I did that. Now let's turn on our light table so we can see the transparency all the way through. We hit outline of our actual drawing, and let's just see what we got so far. So far it looks kind of cool. I did this already previously when I was working on it years ago, and I kind of just abandoned it. Coming back to it now, I already put some work into it, so it's just a matter of, okay, now let's finish it up. But like I said, there's a lot of detail in his armor. He has a lot of segments. It's very segmented. Let me see what it looks like here. Let me see if I can find a really good detailed image of him standing up. Okay, there's some. So it's, again, it's just really segmented. It's almost like dragon armor. It's piece by piece by piece. Like it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on his arm. 1, 2, 3, 4 on his upper arm. Whoop. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 4 in his body. So it's about 4 pieces a piece throughout his whole body. And what I'll do actually, let's come back and fix this. Let's erase that completely. I think what I'll do, I'll just draw as if I'm drawing his arm. Since we're already in the final phase of this drawing, we're gonna go ahead and do what we can to make it look pretty. Like I said, this is going to involve a lot of detail, so a lot of attention to detail on the actual figures. Something like that. Like so. And then we'll also do it here. I'm trying not to get too bogged down into the details of his hand too much, but it is going to be crucial for the look of this character. I feel like so this is actually guts for anyone that's not used to manga and anime and things like that. I feel like if people saw him, they would definitely recognize him immediately, so you really have to take care of the details around him. Something like that there. And so the armor kind of has this little feature here. And I may not stick to the entire design completely, simply because it's just a lot to have to keep up with. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think people are really going to come out of this and be like, well, you know, that one little detail he put there just wasn't very accurate. I think if you get most of the details down, people won't care at that point. But since there are so many intricate details, I'm gonna have to definitely turn this off every now and then to see where it's at. Kind of like that. Yeah, I might as well just turn on the whole screen so we can see it. There's no point in, at this level, at this phase of the drawing, we might as well just look at the whole thing. I don't want to erase too much. I'd rather like that. And I might not even be able to put that in there, really. So I have to go like this. Like that, like that. Like so. Like so. Just kind of copying what I have over there, just trying to make it make sense as much as possible. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I think I will actually put like another piece of armor coming up like that. Okay, just make sure I have the smooth brush on. Like that. Okay. Let's take a look and see what we got. So his head is in the middle of that. I think what I'll do is just copy this same head. Let's put it like right over. Let's turn off some of these images that are in the way. Put it right there. Erase everything else except for the head. I might erase the pieces of the neck as well, but let's just take a look and see first. Nope, we can keep the neck. Save. And then I'm going to group all this together. Let's look at the under picture again. I had it where his mouth was open, but I think I'm not going to do that. I don't think it's necessary at this point. I think we could probably let's get it back to the same size first. And then it's going to shrink down a little bit. Uh-oh, I think I accidentally grouped too many of these elements in here. Some of this can go. Let's just get this picture by itself. So needs to shrink down a little bit more. All right, let's take a look. I think it's close. I think it's close. I'm thinking about tilting his head back, maybe. Or maybe I had it tilted forward in this little picture right here. Maybe just a little bit smaller. We'll bring it up and over a little bit more. And then let's take a look at the image right there. I don't know if that works. I'm not sure that that works. Ooh. For now, I'm gonna leave it without. And nah, I think that might be too small. This is the tricky part in trying to take an element that was already there and then make it kind of work where it wasn't really meant to. That's okay. We'll erase some of these things here. So what's happening is his armor, as he's about to start fighting, his armor is gonna come up over his head. It's like a wolf head. A wolf's head, and the mouthpiece is down here, and the top piece is up here, and it's opening up and like clamping down on him. That. Now let's do that again. Let's draw the top part of his wolf helmet coming up, and then it's a very rudimentary kind of design here. Very much like that. Like teeth. And actually, let's continue the teeth down here too. Like so. Oh yeah, let's bring, ooh, I forgot about the head. Because the head is gonna be, it's gonna be engulfed into the whole helmet part right here, so we can actually start losing some of these elements. Sort of like so. just gonna lose this piece of hair. Oh, that's not. That's like the top of his hair, all right? Okay, I think we can go ahead and take that and put it into our image here. Feel good about that. Yeah, I think that's not bad. Some of this, these little fragments that need to be, see, I missed that right there. All right, so there's that, and then it closes, it clamps down. That's gonna be our next image. So this is good. I don't have to worry about this too much anymore. I didn't really quite lock that in, huh? Let's go ahead and do that. Actually, I want to fix these over here too. Should be kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll take that off. And then for his arm, actually needs to be a little bit more like bladed like that. We'll just do the blades right there. Yeah, and we'll do this right here where it shows kind of like a curving that's going on. But the wrist is going to be closed off. Like so. Cool. All right, and our next image, so first we'll just draw the body. We'll kind of get the shape of the body down pat. Like this. And we're going to kind of exaggerate his form a little bit. We're going to allow that to be so that it can show a little bit of dynamic play. And then we'll do another kind of little section coming down. One, two, three, 4. And I think it's important to actually have these little sections kind of overlap each other. Like so. And then we can erase our guidelines where it was at. can't just actually straight draw this, unfortunately. Maybe I should. Maybe instead of trying to make it as clean as I can. Take off the smooth option. That'll allow us to do whatever we want. No, I think the way it looks is sort of like this. Maybe we can turn that smoothing option back on at this point. Because my lines are starting to look a little wonky. The underside of his arms aren't so bad. We don't need to make them as prominent as like some of the other armor he's wearing. Sort of like so. Like that. We'll do 3 coming up. Perfect. And yeah, we will erase. Let's erase right there, and then we can take off the rest. Perfect. For this, we'll erase right here, right here. Like so. And then we will still segment the arm pieces. We'll do 4 lines. Oh, look at that. Forgot that. Because we're seeing more of the top side of his arm. That's why this one requires just a little bit more attention. Two, 3, 4. And then let's just connect this. Just like that. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and do that. And then we're gonna have the wolf helmet clamp up. Like so. Just put some ridges in there to make it look. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Go back. Save. Just to make it look very neat and put together. Yeah, it's gonna have a very, when we get to the top of the helmet, that's where we're really gonna get some good details in. And let me just get back to it. Okay. And oh, that's what I was trying to do. What does it look like? It's gonna have a very like point down, and then oh man, I'm gonna need the unsmooth pen for this. So it's gonna come up like that. Like so. Like that. And then we're gonna put some action lines in to kind of help show like, bam, it's snap close. And then some action lines to show he threw his arms up. We're gonna close up these elements down here. Let's take a look at our animation by itself. Boom, that looks good. And then now, oh, for this one and for the last frame, we have to put the cape in, but we'll probably come back and do the cape after the fact, after we get all the drawings done of his whole body, because this is going to be a really time-consuming piece all by itself. And let's actually put his hand in here. His hand would be kind of like this. It's actually going to be going forward, kind of like that. Then we're going to actually erase a little bit there. And then sorta like that. Not too concerned on the hand being perfect, because this is going to be another really quick frame. But we will do what we can to make it beautiful, just for that scene. This little piece right here. All right, next part. What's the next drawing look like we got to do? All right, so this is where we're actually gonna get a close-up of the face, and we're gonna see the arms and hands and everything all in its own little profile. So we got this one. The next one's gonna be the same exact thing, but we're gonna move the arm up So we can copy that. That's pretty cool. And then we're going to do a drawing of him actually sitting down, like crouched down with the sword. This is actually a drawing from the manga itself. There's a lot of drawings like that on the internet. We'll probably, if I'm gonna be honest, we'll probably just do our own version of it. I'll copy the same pose and everything that is seen here and just make it my own. And then we'll have it of him coming up from that same stance. And he's gonna hold that for a second. And then he's gonna rear back, twisting his body. And then it's gonna be a whole whoosh right in your face with the sword. And it's really come right into your face, into your eyes. That foreshortened kind of look to it. It's almost like he's ripping into space itself. That's going to be good. That's going to be real good. But first, let's get to this next drawing. And it's going to consist of... I'm going to turn the helmet a little bit. Well, no, I don't have to do that. Not necessarily. There's an image right here. Well, I tell you what, we probably should use a frontal. Yeah, we'll use a frontal image just so that we can use it over and over. So I'll actually do it right here instead. So it's kind of like that. Then it comes down. But then there's another little piece right here that comes down. But then the eyes look like that's what the eyes look like. And then from there, ooh, see, this is why I didn't really work on this one too much. This is so much more detail. It's a very ambitious project because there's a lot to draw on it. And when it comes to doing the animation style that I do, it's supposed to be very quick, very easy, very natural. Like so. We'll just kind of bring it in just a little bit. Am I using the... Let's see what kind of tool I'm using. So I'm not using the tuning brush. Let's do this again, but let's use the tuning one. My tuning pen. Just gonna make it very... very natural, clean. Let's do this. Yeah, sort of like that. Sort of like that. And then like that there. So this is the top of the helmet here. We'll flip it around. Not sure why my music stopped. Man, that's crazy. My music just completely turned off. Yeah, that looks good. That looks just like Berserk too. Probably bring it in just a little bit more. Like that, like so, like so. That looks good. And then it actually does, he actually does have it coming down all the way down. Ah, man. But actually, so something I'm kind of missing here, because there's so much detail into it, there's another little section where it comes down like this. And then it actually comes all the way down like that. Then there's like another kind of like mouthpiece under it. It's 1, 2, 3 sections. 1, 2, 3. Then it has its own like ridges and stuff too. Yeah, that looks good. The only thing is this part right here is actually a little bit more narrow right there, right? Man. More narrow. And then there's the earpieces are actually kind of coming. That's the top part. Oh. It's kind of like a wolf. Like that. But it's not so. This is actually more complicated than I thought. Perhaps this comes down a little bit. Yeah, so that's his own little piece up there. Let's get rid of that. And then from here, yeah. don't think it's so wide. It's not that wide. Because down here, it has its own kind of like, yeah, like that. So we'll sort of bring it over here. Let's get rid of that too. You know what? Let's just grab all of it, because it doesn't really seem to be lining up the way I would like for it to. All of that. Good. Just plug it in right here. Boom. And then let's do it for this piece right here. And you know what? If this is not perfect, then so be it. I think we did enough to it to make it look beautiful, okay? For what it's got to do. Then, depending on how many frames, we might have to do a couple of frames in between as well, just to make sure this thing comes off the way it's supposed to. It looks the way it's supposed to look. And my other fear is that because doing it so because it's so straight on with the head down like this, it might not be getting the whole. It looks cool, but it's not really the feel that I'm going for, you know. So let's do this. Let's actually probably just go with the first thing we were trying to do in the first place. Where it was kind of like this. I think it was kind of like that. Because I think what makes this so cool is that it looks like a wolf's helmet. Like that, and then like so. Whoa. Got this super zoom in thing going on here. So, and then it kind of really comes in. Okay, let's just make sure everything is still kosher here. Very good. Now next, yeah, it was this little piece right here that kind of threw me off a little bit. But that's fine. That seems to be working. That's cool. So I will say, I don't think this helmet is really drawn. I don't think it's drawn in this pose. So it's really kind of me making this up. Sort of like this. that, and then like this. Nah, it comes around and does this number here. I don't think we'll go wrong if we put a couple little ridges in there like that. Yeah, this is much better. This is much, much better than that design we just got finished doing. And see, the point of this is to show the ridge line. Like so, and then I think it's actually a little bit tighter than that though, because when you start getting into it, it might not be so large. I think that's my problem here. It really is a simple, it's kind of, you might have to just draw without looking a little bit. And then it comes down, then it goes up. This is the rim of the top part. It has this very menacing little red line kind of look to it. This is where I'm gonna take a little bit of creative license to make it my own a little bit, because I feel like if we try to do it completely accurate, we're gonna miss the whole beauty of this thing. Nah, I could do that better, like so. But with that, so let's move this real quick. Let's grab this, save, group it, and then we'll shrink it down a little bit. We'll narrow it up. I think it's supposed to be very narrow, like that. And it comes up again. And then comes around sort of like this. That's probably too much. It's starting to look goofy as I'm doing this now. Probably close it down more like that, because the more it goes is more like his helmet piece. Sorta. Actually, what I'm gonna do, like so. Like so. I feel like this jawline needs to be just a little bit further down, like so. I'm not going to do that part. do this. Probably turn it. Narrow down a little bit more. Turn it. Maybe we'll bring this back a little bit. I feel like all of this part here, all of this here needs to shorten some. I want to say kind of like this. Let's just move it out of the way. So we'll do it properly. Like that. Man, this eye part, this piece of it right here was supposed to be the cool part, but it's actually turning out to look pretty lame. So let's try again. It's like a Z. That's what's going on. Like so. But see, this bottom mouthpiece was supposed to be a little bit more kind of like a wing. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna, because I don't think there is another piece of, it's not another picture where it shows the helmet really put together. Oh, there it is. Right there. Okay. Yeah, it's a Z. That's what I thought. So from what I'm seeing, erase all of this, there is a picture that very much so shows all of this in a much better way. So this is a Z. That is right. This is the part of animation and illustration where it gets really, you really get into the weeds of it. It's like, man, this is, it's like you're redrawing this over and over. And it's like, I just cannot figure this drawing out. And then he has like some ears that, so it comes up, ears that come up. Like Batman. Like Batman. Like that. Yeah, so we don't, this is there. I kind of got that right, but you don't see it so much. It really is coming off like a helmet. Then under the helmet, yeah, it comes down like this. All the way. And there's actually kind of like two levels. Like so, yeah, that looks more like it. That looks much, much more like it. And then on top of that, there are these like, I feel like I just got bitten by a mosquito or something. Is it mosquito season again already? Yeah, like that. So we get rid of all this teeth here. See how it really, see how much it changed since we started this whole thing? I must have redrew this thing like 3 times or something. There's a lot of like little details in there like that. And there are some there's a lot of lines and stuff going through. Yeah, that looks great. Perfect. So the only problem though, it is very much it's a side view. It's a strong side view. And that's the same problem I have with this one because it's a strong front view. But I think what I'm just gonna have to do is just use them both. And just sort of like that. Bam. 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 Alright, so we got 2 different drawings of the helmet. I think that's more than enough. When we get to a certain point where we got to put the head in for the helmet, we'll use one of these 2. I don't really see a need to draw any other different styles and shapes and angles and all this kind of stuff. So we'll do that. But I will say there's what I could do. I mean, obviously I need to put the other earpiece thing in there like that. What I could do is maybe try and maybe just kind of bring it around a little bit. Like so. That. All we're doing is just adding like a 3rd angle to it. Like a 3rd, so that's very 2D. We're adding another 3D, a 3rd dimension to it, so it just rounds out just a little bit more. Yeah, I think that actually works a little bit better. Boom. Ooh, that's dark. So with that comes the rest of the body. all we're gonna do for now is just draw. We're gonna draw as if he's not wearing the armor. And what this is going to do is going to help us really plan out the whole thing, his whole body style. Because the previous drawing was really just for the animatic. It wasn't really to help us to know what we're doing. Sort of like this, because the rest of it is his back. I don't know if that's gonna work either. Probably needs to be something like that's his arm. So like so. That. Perfect. Okay, so now we got a real good. Whoa, hold on. His other hand. Okay, almost. Almost there. I'm just not quite satisfied with the final product just yet. Okay, I think that's good. That's good. Now we can turn off. Oh man, no, I need that on still. Alright, so what we can do now is begin our drawing process again. So it's going to be in reverse order now, right? Three and four. Sort of like that. It's not perfect. But it'll get us to where we're going. sure I'm staying consistent with all the design. I'm not going to be able to put every single thing back in there that I want, but I think it will suffice us to do what we've done so far. And see, even in doing this, it's like there's a lot of this stuff you won't see. Okay. It's funny if you look back at the other 2 or 3 animations I just got finished doing in the last 2 weeks. It's funny to see how quickly those moved versus this one. It's just a little bit more care that goes into it. Oh, wow, that was a coincidence. Let's move it down just a little bit more. All right. Let's look at what we have. Okay, whoa, 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 whoa. This is what I'm trying to do here. Something a little bit closer to that. Bam. And now his torso. Ooh, I forget what the rest of the armor looked like. It was coming in. What? Okay. Man, it's hard to remember. It's hard to remember some of this. So, okay, because I need to take out his pecs. I think it was kind of like, and then from there, oh man, what? Yeah. Kind of came down. Something like that. I don't know. then that's where it is going to begin this number here. Indeed. Yeah, I think that's enough detail. Like I said, we'll come back in and do the let's grab this though. We'll come back in and do the cape second. So we'll copy all this, paste it back here. But what's going to happen is his arm is going to change up. What I'm going to do is flip it. But, oh, excuse me. Wow. Man, I'm more tired than I thought I was. And in order to change this hand from a righty to a right side or a lefty, all you got to do is close out the hand right here and move up these little details to like right there. Boom. Now his thumb's been displaced. Well, I probably can just erase that too though, and then so it's kind of like you're seeing that side of his hand. And does his fingers, did he have bladed fingers? I don't think so. Good. So I can actually keep his fingers the way they are for the most part. But I do gotta clean them up though. These bad boys are looking jagged. These bad boys. Kind of like that. Actually, I don't like the way this hand is looking. That's not the best looking hand, but I'm not too worried about it. This. Let's do a little something to show that he has some armor on still. Okay. Next scene is going to be him actually down with the sword in his hand. And this is where we can actually use this piece of armor here that's very straightforward that we didn't have room for before. I'm just gonna move it to the side too because I don't want it to get lost in all this that we're doing. Like that. Don't want to make it the shoulder pads too big. And then his legs have, actually, his legs have a sort of different kind of style to it. I'm trying to find a good photo of what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. So they're going to be, I'm not going to draw them with all the segments on it because I feel like that's just going to take forever. But instead, I will draw a lot of the finer details after the fact. Sort of like so. Just showing that his foot is there. One, two, three, four. That's okay. As we start to get down to these smaller details, I think it's best to do like I was saying and just get the drawing done and then go back in and do those details as necessary. This, bam, 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 bam. Wait. Let's actually curve these segments to the side just a little bit. There's that, but then even the arms are going to be segmented somewhat. Yep, even they have the like so. Like so. And then coming back to the legs, they're kind of like this. Even the crotch has segments to it too. I'll just do this. I'll draw from point to point. Yeah, we'll just cut it off right there. Like that. And then for the legs, they actually have a different kind of segment go in the opposite direction. Trying to stay true to the material here. Ooh, it was going to... Dang, I did it wrong. Opposite direction. Like that. Okay. I think this has come together pretty well. Of course, this leg. I think the knee. We'll do something like so. Actually, I think it can look a little bit better than that. All right. And what I'm going to do, I'm not going to redraw the sword. It was always my plan to actually grab this sword because I already did such a detailed job on it already, and just plant it right in place. I think that is good right there. Some spots I need to erase out of this. Well, actually, let me see what it looked like here. Looks like I had this in front of the sword, so the sword needs to be erased right here and right there. But then over here, it actually fits best on top. All right, get rid of this. We'll go for a few more minutes here and then we'll call the stream. As you can see, in just an hour, it took that long to do just this much. Because this animation is very involved. Excuse me. All right, just checking a few little things before I continue. This is where he's going to stand up. I'm going to copy this one. I feel like we could probably use it again here. Oh, excuse me, man. Yeah, it's getting me. It is getting to me. Yeah, I probably can't use all this. Not the way I'm thinking. I'm looking at it and I'm like, man, can I do this? not so much. Let's put the wolf head helmet in place like so. Then let's go ahead and draw a makeshift body. Yeah, this is probably a little too meaty. And I probably, no, I do need to draw the foot. As much as I want to kind of avoid it, still need to draw it. And draw this other foot kind of in an action pose. Just thinking of how the leg connects to the foot at such an angle. Like that. I should kind of be closed off a little bit. Yeah, then that's the knee. And then this hand here. Then the rest of the hand. And like that. Let's take a look and see what it looks like. So that is fine for the most part. Let me make sure this foot is on the same plane as that one, and then it's actually going to be smaller because it's kind of like in the background, right? And then what I want to do is have this leg actually come out and like connect with it. Like that. And this leg is actually going to be very much in the front. That. Boom. This hand. We'll draw this hand and then we'll end off the string so that we can kind of step back and take a look at what we got here. It's probably too much turned to the right a little bit. Let's turn it back to the left. And then connect it, because we're going to put that sword right in his hand. Actually, let's just go ahead and grab the sword so we can kind of round off this whole thing. Boom, like that. Just like that. That there. Oops, actually we want to keep that because we want to show the sword is in his hand. So let's erase his hand off of that part right there. That looks good. That looks really good. I think that's a really great start to this whole thing. We still have about half of it to go, honestly. We still have all those drawings right there. All of that. That might not even be half. That might be more than half. But I am really pleased with how far it's come. I like how much cleaner it looks. Still flows pretty well. That part right there. That right there. That right there. And we'll come back and put some capery. Really let it flow like that. I'm already kind of doing some of it here, but that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That looks good. So, we'll end it here. We'll pick up on the stream again a little bit later. I might do an extra stream later on this weekend just in case. I'm really enjoying this. I really like taking the idea and bringing it to life. Even some of these more complicated ones like Berserk. That's why I avoided drawing this one or finishing this one, because I was like, man, I love to have the idea, but I hate to have to actually sit down and do it. But no, this is good. This is really good. So we'll come back next time. We'll work on some more. We'll try to finish it up and at least get it to a point where it's ready to color. So until then, make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, all those good things, and watch some more videos. There's plenty more on my channel, plenty more to see. You can watch me draw and do some other stuff.